The first time I saw a human break, I thought we had won. My name is Vekron, and I serve as a tactical analyst for the Qarathi Dominion. For 300 cycles, my species has conquered 17 star systems, absorbed 42 civilizations, and perfected the art of war. We are methodical. We are superior. We were unstoppable. Then we met them. The humans called their planet Earth, a ridiculous name for a world that was 70% water. Our invasion fleet arrived in their solar system on what they called a Tuesday morning, standard protocol, or, we were whelming force. Psychological warfare broadcasts. We had done this dance before and it always ended the same way. Except it didn't. Commander Threlix stood at the viewport of our flagship, all four of his arms crossed in what I had learned to recognize as confidence. The preliminary scans showed divided nation-states, he said, mandibles clicking with amusement. They fight among themselves. Primitive nuclear weapons, chemical propulsion systems. This will be over in 3 planetary rotations. I adjusted my optical implant, reviewing the data streaming across my neural interface. Sir, there is something peculiar in their entertainment broadcasts. Entertainment? Threlix turned 2 of his eyes toward me while keeping the others focused on the blue planet below. You waste processing power on their fictional narratives? It may be relevant, Commander. They tell stories about war, constantly. Their entire culture seems obsessed with conflict, survival, and something they call the underdog, winning against impossible odds. Threlix made a sound that approximated laughter in our species. Stories, let them tell their stories while we write their ending. The first wave of dropships launched at dawn over a continent they called North America. We chose a major population center, a city named Detroit. The strategy was simple: demonstrate overwhelming superiority, break their will to fight, accept their surrender, 3 rotations. Maximum. The dropships made it halfway to the surface before the humans opened fire. Sir, we are detecting weapons discharge from the surface. The tactical officer's voice carried a note of surprise. Primitive projectile weapons.
Small arms fire.
They are shooting at our ships. Threlix laughed, a genuine sound of mirth. Shoot with bullets? Against our shields? Let them waste their ammunition. It will make the surrender sweeter. But they didn't stop shooting. Our forces landed in a large open area, the humans called a parking lot, perfectly flat. No cover, tactically ideal for us. Our soldiers deployed in standard formation, weapons ready, shields active. The humans should have run, should have hidden, should have begged for mercy. Instead, they charged. I watched through the combat feeds as a human male, maybe 50 cycles old by their reckoning, drove a vehicle directly at our line. Not a military vehicle, a civilian transport truck with the words Ford Tough printed on its side. He was screaming something, though the translator struggled with the profanity-laden battle cry. The truck exploded against our shield wall. The driver died instantly. It should have been the end of it. It was the beginning. More humans appeared. Not soldiers. Citizens, workers, shopkeepers. They came with hunting rifles, sporting weapons, tools repurposed as clubs. One female threw containers of flaming liquid. Another male attacked our soldiers with a chainsaw, an archaic cutting tool that should have been useless against our armor. It was. He died screaming, still trying to pull the trigger even as the life left his body. This is insane, I muttered, watching feed after feed show similar scenes. They know they cannot win. They know they are dying. Why do they keep fighting? Threlix had stopped laughing. Pull the first wave back. Regroup. We need to reassess. But the humans didn't let us regroup. Their military finally arrived, and that was when things became truly complicated. They fought with a ferocity that defied logic. Soldiers threw themselves on grenades to save their comrades. Pilots crashed their damaged aircraft into our positions rather than ejecting. Medics ran into active fire zones to retrieve wounded, often dying in the process. They are irrational, Threlix said, watching a human squad hold a position against 30 of our soldiers. They were outnumbered, outgunned, and had no hope of survival. They knew it. We knew it. They fought anyway. This level of casualties should have broken their morale 10 times over. I pulled up their historical records, translated and analyzed by our AI systems. Commander, you should see this. I am busy watching my soldiers die to a species that should not pose a threat. Sir, this is relevant. Their history is nothing but war, continuous, unending conflict. They have been fighting each other for their entire recorded civilization. Wars over territory. Wars over resources. Wars over ideas and beliefs. They have weaponized everything from rocks to atoms. In the last century alone, they killed over 100 million of their own species in various conflicts. Trellix turned all four eyes toward me. They genocide their own kind. Regularly. And then they rebuild, make treaties and prepare for the next war. They have never known true peace. Not for longer than a few cycles at a time. Then they should be easy to defeat. A divided species, weakened by internal conflict. I highlighted another section of data. Wag. That is what I thought. But look at this. Every time they face an external threat, they unify. Instantly. Completely. Ancient enemies become allies within planetary days. They have a saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Primitive philosophy. Effective philosophy, sir. We are now the enemy of every human on that planet. All 8 billion of them. The second day of the invasion went worse than the first. Human resistance intensified across every continent. Their military forces, while technologically inferior, fought with tactical creativity that surprised our analysts. They used their knowledge of local terrain. They set traps. They ambushed our patrols. They studied our tactics and adapted, sometimes within hours. But it was the civilians that truly unsettled me. In a region called Texas, a group of humans in their 70s and 80s, elderly by their standards, formed a militia. They called themselves the Silver Brigade. They used knowledge from conflicts fought decades ago, wars from before some of our soldiers were spawned. They killed 17 of our troops before we neutralized them. Not one surrendered. Not one begged for mercy. The eldest, a female named Margaret, who was 83 cycles old, detonated an explosive device rather than be captured. Her last words, caught on our audio scanners, were, "Y'all picked the wrong planet, uglies. Pull all forces back to the ships." Trellix ordered on day 3, "We need to recalibrate our approach." Sir, that will be seen as a retreat. It will embolden them. They are already emboldened, Vekron. They are acting like they are winning. Are they winning, sir? Trellix didn't answer immediately. His mandibles clicked in agitation. We have superior technology, superior numbers, superior firepower. We cannot be losing to a species that still uses chemical propulsion. But we were losing. Not in conventional terms. Our casualty rates were within acceptable parameters. Our equipment functioned perfectly. Our strategy was sound. Yet somehow we were losing. The humans did something then that I had never seen in 17 conquered worlds. They went on the offensive. Not just their military. Everyone. Hackers, they called them. Humans skilled in manipulating digital systems. They infiltrated our networks, planted viruses, stole data, turned our own automated systems against us. One 17-cycle-old human male, operating from his parents' basement in a place called Ohio, managed to crash 3 of our orbital satellites before we traced and eliminated him. His last act was uploading a message to every screen in our fleet. It was an image of a human hand, middle finger extended. Our translators explained it was an offensive gesture. The humans found it hilarious. The image spread across their global communication network within minutes, accompanied by thousands of similar messages. They were mocking us.
How?
Trellix stared at the screens showing human celebrations. How are they laughing? We have killed thousands of them, destroyed entire cities. They should be in mourning, not celebrating. I had been studying their psychology, trying to understand. Sir, I believe they are evolutionarily adapted for this. Adapted for war, adapted for survival under impossible circumstances. Look at their planet. It is a death world by galactic standards. Extreme weather, predatory fauna, toxic flora, frequent natural disasters, diseases that kill millions, and yet they thrived. They didn't just survive their planet. They conquered it. Every other species on Earth either serves them or fears them. They are the apex predator of a world designed to kill them. Trellix absorbed this information. So they are durable. That explains their physical resilience. It does not explain their psychological state. It explains everything, sir. They evolved in small tribal groups, constantly fighting for resources, cooperation within the tribe, aggression toward outsiders. They are biologically programmed to form packs and fight together. When threatened, they don't scatter like civilized species. They swarm. They attack. They sacrifice individuals for the survival of the group. That is the behavior of insects, not intelligent beings. They are both, sir.
Whole.
That is what makes them terrifying. They have insect-level aggression combined with advanced intelligence and tool-making abilities. And one more thing. I pulled up another data file. They have a concept they call adrenaline, a chemical their bodies produce during stress. It enhances strength, speed, pain tolerance, and suppresses fear. They literally drug themselves naturally when fighting. That would explain the Berserker charges. Trellix watched footage of a human soldier severely wounded, continuing to fight long after he should have collapsed. They feel no pain. They feel it. They ignore it. The chemical response overrides survival instinct. I found records of humans performing impossible physical feats under its influence, lifting vehicles to save trapped offspring, fighting despite mortal wounds, running on broken limbs, running on broken limbs, running on broken limbs. There is a documented case of a human female who fought off a large predator, a creature they call a bear, to protect her young. She survived with over 200 wounds. Impossible. Documented fact, sir. They are not just willing to die for each other. Their bodies are designed to keep fighting past the point of death. Trellix was silent for a long moment. Recommendation. Withdraw, sir. Immediately. Mark this system as hostile and warn other fleets. These humans are not worth conquering. The cost will be too high. We have never retreated from a primitive species. They are not primitive, sir. They are survivors. And they are very, very angry. As if to punctuate my point, alerts flashed across our displays. The humans had launched their nuclear weapons.
All of them.
Not at our ships. At their own planet. They are destroying their own cities? Trellix stared in disbelief. No, sir. Look at the trajectories. They are targeting cities we have occupied. They are willing to sacrifice their own territory, their own people, to kill us. The nuclear weapons detonated in sequence. 17 cities vanished in atomic fire. 2,000 of our soldiers, gone, but also millions of humans, dead by their own hand. The surviving humans didn't mourn. They cheered. A human leader appeared on every broadcast channel. President Maxwell Caine, a male in his 60s with gray hair and eyes like ice. He spoke directly to us, knowing we were listening. You came to our world thinking we would break, thinking we would surrender. You don't understand what you are dealing with. We are humans. We evolved on a planet that tried to kill us every single day, while we fought saber-toothed cats with sharpened sticks. We survived ice ages with animal skins and fire. We split the atom and turned it into a weapon. We went to war with ourselves and came out stronger. You think you are invaders?
You think you are conquerors?
You are just another challenge, just another threat, just another thing trying to kill us. And we are very, very good at surviving things that try to kill us. He leaned closer to the camera. You wanted a war? Congratulations. You found the only species in the galaxy that has been practicing war since we lived in caves. The only species that turned killing each other into an art form, a science, and a competitive sport. We study war. We teach war. We dream about war. We make entertainment about war. We have more ways to kill than you have words in your language. And now all of that creativity, all of that violence, all of that rage is focused on you. Maxwell Caine smiled. It was not a friendly expression. We weren't born for war. We were made for it. By nature, by evolution, by 10,000 years of killing anything that threatened us. You are not special. You are just the latest in a long line of things that tried to end humanity. Let me tell you how that usually works out. The threat dies. We survive. We always survive. Because that is what we do. That is all we do. He stood up, buttoned his jacket, and delivered his final message. You have 72 hours to leave our system. After that, we stop playing defense. We hunted every large predator on our planet to extinction. We can do it again, and trust me when I say this. You don't want to find out what humans are like when we are hunting. Ask the wolves. Ask the lions. Ask the bears. Oh wait, you can't, because we killed them all. The broadcast ended. Trellix looked at me. Analysis. He is not bluffing, sir. They will kill us. Maybe not today. Maybe not with their current technology. But they will never stop. They will study us. Learn from us. Adapt. In 10 cycles, they will have ships. In 20 they will have weapons that match ours. In 50 they will be at our homeworld. Not to conquer, to exterminate. Because that is what they do to threats. They don't just defeat them, they erase them. You believe one species could threaten the entire Dominion? I looked at the data, the human casualties, Qarathis, the unwavering resistance, was the nuclear sacrifice, the promise of vengeance. Sir, I believe we made a catastrophic mistake. We didn't invade a primitive world. We attacked a species that has been waiting their entire evolutionary history for something to fight, something that wasn't them. We gave them what they wanted, unity, purpose, an enemy worthy of their rage, and they are going to make us regret it. Threlix gave the order to withdraw 12 hours later. The Qarathi Dominion left Earth orbit, our invasion fleet battered and demoralized. We had superior technology, superior numbers, superior tactics. The humans had something we didn't. They had fury, they had defiance, they had an absolute refusal to accept defeat, and they had time. As our ships entered faster-than-light travel, I monitored the final transmissions from Earth. The humans were already rebuilding, already studying our technology, already preparing for the next encounter, because they knew there would be one. They knew we would return, or others would come, and they would be ready. President Caine's words echoed in my mind as I filed my report. We weren't born for war, we were made for it. He was right. Terrifyingly, absolutely right. The Qarathi Dominion had spent 300 cycles conquering the galaxy. We thought we understood war. We understood nothing. The humans were about to teach us, and I suspected it would be a very painful lesson. The Council of Dominion did not believe my report. Retreating from a single planet, High Chancellor Vorthrax slammed 3 of his appendages on the obsidian table. Impossible. Unacceptable. Threlix has been relieved of command and sent for psychological evaluation. You, Vekron, are hereby assigned to explain how our most decorated commander lost his nerve to primitives with gunpowder weapons. I stood before the 7 members of the High Council, my report displayed on holographic screens surrounding us.
All they had read it. They simply chose not to believe it.
Honored Council, the data supports every conclusion in my analysis. The humans are not standard prey species. Their evolutionary path created something unique, something dangerous. Dangerous? Council member Xithar laughed, the sound like grinding metal. They don't even have faster-than-light capability. Their most powerful weapons are fusion devices that would barely scratch our shields. You are telling us to fear children throwing rocks. Children who killed 3,000 of our soldiers in 4 planetary days. The laughter stopped. Acceptable losses, Vorthrax said, but his voice carried less certainty. We have lost more in training exercises. Have we ever lost soldiers to 83 cycle-old females detonating homemade explosives? Have we ever faced an enemy that chose nuclear self-destruction over surrender? Have we ever encountered a species that celebrates their own casualties as victories? Silence filled the chamber. Council member Threxus, the eldest and wisest among them, spoke softly. What are you truly saying, Vekron? That we cannot defeat them? I am saying we should not try.
I'll mark their system as forbidden territory.
Establish a quarantine zone. Let them develop in isolation. In 100 cycles, perhaps we can establish diplomatic relations. Cowardice. Vorthrax spat the word. The Dominion does not run from lesser species. We will return with a larger fleet, overwhelming force, complete planetary sterilization if necessary. We will show them what true power means. They already know what true power means, Chancellor. They invented it, refined it, and used it on themselves for millennia. We cannot teach them anything about violence they have not already mastered. Threxus raised a manipulator for silence. You studied their culture extensively during the invasion. Tell us, what is your assessment of their likely response to a second attack? I had been dreading this question. They will have prepared. Human military doctrine emphasizes learning from defeat. They will have analyzed our tactics, our weapons, our ships. They will have developed countermeasures, and most critically, they will have unified their entire species under a single purpose. Revenge. Revenge. Let them seek revenge, Vorthrax scoffed. What can they do without starships? Build them. The humans went from primitive aircraft to landing on their moon in 66 cycles, from splitting the atom to fusion weapons in 15 cycles. They accelerate technologically when threatened. We just became the greatest threat they have ever faced. I estimate they will have functional warships within 20 cycles, maybe less. 20 cycles? Scythar leaned forward. You overestimate them. I hope I do.
Council member.
Because if I am correct, and they achieve faster-than-light travel, they will not stop at defense. They will come for us, for all of us. The council debated for hours. Politics, pride, military doctrine. In the end, Vorthax prevailed. The Dominion would return to Earth in force. 5 battle fleets, 2,000 ships, enough firepower to glass the entire planet. I requested transfer to a remote listening post. My request was denied. I would accompany the invasion fleet as chief intelligence officer. They wanted me there to witness my predictions proven wrong. I wanted to be wrong more than they could possibly understand. The second invasion fleet assembled over the following cycles. News of our retreat had spread throughout the Dominion territories. Other conquered species watched with interest, some with hope. If the humans could resist, perhaps they could too. Commander Veltrax led the new fleet, younger than Threlix but equally confident. "We will not make the same mistakes," he told me, during our first briefing. "No ground invasion, no attempts at occupation. We will remain in orbit and systematically eliminate all population centers. Surgical strikes. Clean. Efficient. The humans will not have a chance to display their barbaric tendencies. They will still resist, Commander." "With what?" "They cannot reach us in orbit. They will find a way. Humans always find a way." Veltrax dismissed my concerns with a gesture. "You have spent too much time analyzing their propaganda, Vekron. They are primitives who got lucky against an unprepared force. We are prepared now." We were not prepared. The fleet emerged from faster-than-light travel at the edge of the human solar system. Immediately, alarms screamed across every ship. "Multiple contacts detected," the sensor officer reported. "Unknown vessels, human configuration. They are armed." Veltrax stared at the display. "That is impossible. Our last survey was 18 cycles ago. They did not have space combat capability." "They do now, Commander. 12 human warships intercepted us before we reached Earth. They called them Vengeance-class destroyers. Appropriate naming convention. The ships were crewed by our standards. Fusion drives instead of antimatter. Railguns instead of plasma cannons. Oh, but they were functional, and the humans piloting them had learned from our technology." "Open fire," Veltrax ordered. "Eliminate all human vessels." Our fleet launched a devastating barrage. Enough firepower to destroy a small moon. The human ships scattered, moving in patterns that seemed random but were actually carefully coordinated. They had studied our weapons, knew our firing patterns, avoided our targeting solutions. 6 human ships died in the first exchange. We celebrated briefly. Then the remaining 6 ships did something insane. They accelerated directly toward our fleet. "Suicide run," Veltrax said. "Predictable, target them all. No survivors." But the humans were not planning to ram us. They released payloads at maximum velocity. Thousands of small projectiles. Each one a simple kinetic weapon. Metal rods. No guidance systems. No explosives. Just mass and velocity. Physics did the rest. The projectiles tore through our fleet like paper. Our shields, designed to stop energy weapons, offered minimal protection against solid matter moving at relativistic speeds. 17 ships sustained critical damage. 3 exploded outright. "Return fire. Eliminate those ships." We destroyed all 6 remaining human vessels. Total annihilation. We had won the engagement. Except we had not. More human ships emerged from behind their moon, then more from orbital stations around Earth. They had been building, constantly, obsessively. Every resource, every factory, every shipyard, focused on one goal: warships. "How many ships do they have?" Veltrax demanded. "Sensors indicate 43 operational vessels, Commander, or under construction." 43 ships in 18 cycles? Where did they get the resources? I pulled up economic data. They stripped their entire planet, Commander, mined their asteroids, dismantled their civilian infrastructure. Every human on that planet is working toward building their fleet. They have converted their entire civilization into a war machine. Madness. They will destroy their own economy. They do not care about their economy, sir. They care about survival and revenge. The human fleet attacked in waves, coordinated strikes, diversionary tactics. They sacrificed ships to get firing solutions on our command vessels. Their tactics were expensive, inefficient, and brutally effective. Commander Veltrax died when a human frigate, crippled and burning, crashed into his flagship's bridge. The human pilot had manually overridden safety systems to guide his dying ship into our command center. His last transmission was recorded by our sensors. "For Detroit, for Margaret, for everyone you killed, see you in hell, uglies." The humans had a concept called hell, a mythological place of eternal suffering. They invoked it frequently in battle. I was beginning to understand why. Command fell to me. I did not want it. I ordered immediate retreat. Sir, we still outnumber them, the tactical officer protested. We can win this. At what cost? Look at our casualty reports. Look at theirs. They are losing more ships, but we are losing more crew. They have automated systems, smaller crews. They can afford losses we cannot, and they will keep fighting. They will always keep fighting. We are the Qarathi Dominion. We do not flee. We do today. All ships, execute emergency faster than light jump, now. The fleet retreated. Again. 2 invasions. 2 failures. The humans had defended their world against the most powerful military force in the galaxy. Libyen Sadafauna became leaders, the Ellers of Nasavirs of fear. They did not celebrate. They prepared. I monitored their broadcast during our return journey. President Caine addressed his people from a bunker somewhere beneath their planet's surface. He looked older, more tired. But his eyes burned with the same intensity. We hurt them. They came with ships and fire. And we hurt them. But they will come again. Maybe not today. Maybe not this year. But they will come. And next time we will not fight defensively. Next time we take the war to them. The crowd cheered. Exhausted. Bloodied. Mourning billions of dead, and they cheered. Because fighting was not enough for humans. Surviving was not enough. They needed to win. Completely. Permanently. They needed to eliminate the threat. They needed to eliminate us. The council recalled me directly from the fleet. No debriefing. No formalities. Just urgent transportation to the homeworld. I arrived to find chaos. Other species in the Dominion had heard about our failures. Rebellions sparked across 3 systems. Not because they thought they could defeat us, because the humans proved resistance was possible. Our aura of invincibility had shattered. Contain them, the council ordered. Send fleets to the rebellious systems, crush all resistance. Make examples. We do not have enough fleets, Honored Council.
Not anymore.
We lost 46 ships to the humans, 46 of our most advanced vessels. Replacements will take cycles to build, then build them faster. Use the resources from the conquered worlds. That will provoke further rebellions, Chancellor. We are spread too thin. The humans have created a cascade effect. Every species we have conquered is watching. Waiting. If we appear weak, they will all rise against us. Threxes spoke quietly. Down. We must not appear weak. We must destroy the humans. Completely, decisively, before they inspire others. With what, Council Member? We have committed 2 fleets, and lost both. A 3rd attempt will require resources we cannot spare without compromising security elsewhere. And the humans are growing stronger with each cycle. Give them 10 more cycles and they will have a fleet that rivals ours. Twalston, we have committed 2 fleets and lost both expulse. 20 cycles, and they will be launching their own invasions. Unacceptable. But probable, Honored Council. I have studied the humans extensively. They do not forgive. They do not forget. They will hunt us across the galaxy if necessary. This war will not end until one species is extinct. The council chamber fell silent. Finally, Vorthax spoke. You are proposing surrender. I am proposing survival. Contact the humans. Negotiate peace. Offer reparations. Establish a non-aggression treaty.
Hey!
It will be humiliating, but it will preserve the Dominion. The Qarathi Dominion does not negotiate with inferiors. They are not inferiors anymore, Chancellor. They are equals, possibly superiors in warfare. We must accept this reality, or face extinction. The debate raged for planetary days. Pride versus pragmatism. Tradition versus survival. In the end, survival won. Barely. I was selected to lead the diplomatic mission. Punishment, really. My reward for being correct was to face the humans and beg for peace. The human government agreed to meet on neutral ground, a space station they had constructed in orbit around their moon. They called it Armstrong Station, named after the first human to walk on another world. Even their architecture emphasized conquest and achievement. President Caine met me personally, flanked by military officers and advisors. He was older now, the cycles of war having aged him visibly, but his eyes remained sharp, calculating. Dangerous. Ambassador Vekron, he said, the title carrying a hint of mockery. You came to invade us twice, now you come to talk. Interesting evolution. President Caine, I come seeking peace between our species. Peace. He tasted the word like poison. You killed 4 billion humans, burned 17 cities, turned Earth into a fortress world, and now you want peace? We were wrong to attack you. We underestimated your capabilities, your resolve. We seek to make amends. Amends. Caine laughed bitterly. How do you make amends for 4 billion dead? What is the exchange rate on human lives in your economy? We offer technology, resources, territory, full withdrawal from your system, and a guarantee of non-aggression. That is what you offer. Here is what we want. All Caine leaned forward. Complete dismantlement of your military fleet. Full technological exchange including faster-than-light drive specifications. Liberation of all conquered species in your territory. War crimes trials for every commander involved in both invasions. Reparations amounting to 1 trillion credits in your currency. And you personally will remain on Earth as a hostage to ensure compliance. Those terms are impossible. The Council will never accept. Then we continue the war. Your choice. One of his advisors, a female admiral named Katrina Volkov, smiled coldly. You should know we have been busy while you were retreating. We now have 78 operational warships, 300 more under construction. We have cracked your shield technology, improved your weapons designs, made them better. In 5 cycles, we will have the largest fleet in the sector. In 10 cycles, we will start liberating your conquered worlds. Not because we care about them particularly, though we do, but because we want you isolated, alone, afraid, the way you made us feel. You would condemn billions of Qarathi to death for revenge. Not revenge, Caine corrected. Justice and insurance. We will never be invaded again, never be threatened again. The only way to guarantee that is to ensure no one has the power to threaten us. So yes, we will dismantle your empire, free your slaves, take your technology, and sleep soundly knowing that no one will ever again make the mistake of attacking humanity. You are describing galactic conquest. No, we are describing galactic peace, enforced by us. Because clearly, the rest of you cannot be trusted with advanced weapons and faster-than-light travel. You use them for conquest. We will use them for protection. Everyone's protection, whether they want it or not. I understood then what we had truly done. We had not just attacked humans. We had not just killed their people. We had shown them the galaxy was hostile, that threats existed beyond their solar system, and humans responded to threats by eliminating them. We had created monsters. No, that was wrong. The monsters had always existed. We had simply given them a target. I will take your terms to the Council, I said quietly. Do that. You have 30 planetary days to respond. After that, the human fleet begins operations in Dominion space. We have already selected our first targets. 3 of your mining colonies, then your shipyards, then your supply lines. We studied your tactics, Ambassador. Now you get to experience what it feels like when humans study something. We are very thorough students. The meeting ended. I returned to the Dominion homeworld with humanity's demands. The Council rejected them immediately. We will fight, Vorthax declared. Mobilize all remaining fleets. Fortify our borders. Let them come. We will show them what true military might means. We did fight. For 6 cycles we fought. We lost. The humans did not fight like conquerors. They fought like exterminators. Methodical, efficient, merciless. They targeted our infrastructure, our economy, our ability to wage war. They freed conquered species and recruited them into their growing alliance. They called it the Free Systems Coalition. Others called it the Human Empire. Our species called it the End. The final battle occurred in orbit above our homeworld. 300 human ships against everything we had left. We fought desperately, knowing defeat meant extinction. The humans won. They always won. But they did not exterminate us. President Caine, now elderly and near the end of his natural lifespan, addressed the Qarathi people directly. You came to our world seeking conquest. You found war. You wanted slaves. You found soldiers. You expected surrender. You found defiance. Now you have a choice. Join us. Accept the new order. Live in peace under human protection. Or continue fighting and face extinction. We prefer the first option, but we are prepared for either. The Council had no choice. We surrendered. Unconditionally. Completely. The Dominion ended. The Free Systems Coalition began. I live now on Earth, as agreed in the final treaty. A prisoner, technically though treated well. I serve as a cultural liaison, helping newly freed species understand humans. It is important work. Humans are still terrifying to most species. They try to be friendly, but evolution does not erase easily. They are predators trying to act like prey. It confuses everyone. Sometimes I walk through human cities, rebuilt after our attacks. Memorials stand in places where millions died. Humans visit them, remember their dead, then return to their lives. Working, building, preparing, always preparing. They have not forgotten we exist. They watch the galaxy with sensors and fleets ready for the next threat, because humans do not trust peace. They have never known it long enough to believe in it. I am old now by Qarathi standards. My time ends soon. Before I die, I want to record this final statement for any species that might discover it in future cycles. Do not fight humans. Do not threaten them. Do not make them afraid, because fear makes humans dangerous. And humans are already the most dangerous species in the galaxy. We were not the first to invade Earth. Probably not the last, but we were the ones who taught humanity that the universe was hostile. We showed them they needed weapons, fleets, and soldiers. We created the very thing we feared most. An enemy we could not defeat. Holding. President Caine was correct in his first broadcast. Humans were not born for war. Their planet, their evolution, their entire history made them for war. Shaped them, honed them, prepared them for the moment when something would threaten their existence. We were that threat. We fulfilled their evolutionary purpose. We gave them reason to unleash 10,000 years of accumulated violence on something other than themselves. They thanked us for it. Can you imagine? They thanked us for invading, because fighting us united them, gave them purpose, made them stronger. Humans are grateful for their enemies. They need them, thrive on them, become better, because of them. Never give humans an enemy. They are too good at winning. I watch the human ships patrol the skies above their planet. Sleek, powerful, constantly improving. Each generation of vessel more advanced than the last. They named them after their dead, after cities we destroyed, after people we killed. Every ship is a reminder, a promise, a warning. We weren't born for war. We were made for it. They told us. We did not listen. Now the galaxy has no choice but to hear. And the universe will never be the same.